Thanks, Davey. There's Ricky Carmichael getting ready for his 250 heat race. He's the series points leader, but there's another man in the picture, James Bubba Stewart, also in his heat race. They met in Orlando, and we talked to him earlier and said, what did you learn about that Orlando race?
I didn't know how fast I needed to go when I came back. I wasn't out of control, but, I was just definitely going pretty fast. And, I figured out, I just kind of expected those guys to be a little bit more faster, a little bit faster when they, just from racing all year and me coming back, I thought I was going to be off the pace a little bit. But I think the biggest thing I learned, I need to slow down a little bit. Then, I won't have to go as fast, and, I won't have to take the chances. It was cool, though.
I just, learned that my speed was good, and it's going to be some good racing, and I just need to have a little more patience and, give myself a shot at the race at the 15 lap mark instead of laying on the ground. That's really the only thing that I would have changed from the race. I was sitting perfect, and that's the way things go, and looking to improve on that.
What do you think about that, Denny Stevenson? Both of those riders really want to win bad, and this championship, Bubba, could be a key factor. Let's take a look at our starting grid for heat race number 2 of the 250cc class. Carmichael and Voss, a former champion and a current champion in Supercross. Carmichael, the number 4. Watch Mike LaRocco, David Villeman, factory riders in this heat race. Only 4 move on to that 250 main event.
This is going to be a huge heat race as well. 259, number 4 right there. We see him on the screen. This guy is amazing right now. He is trying to set the gauntlet on Bubba Stewart. He doesn't want to end the season like he did when he won the championship last time. He wants to end the season with some wins, and Heath Voss.
There's Heath Voss, originally from Minnesota. He now lives in Texas, out of Mico, Texas, on that Yamaha No Fear machine. He's wearing our onboard camera. Let's see how the reigning GP champion does it. Oh, James Stewart with the biggest hole shot, 2 bike links, and he wasn't even halfway down the front straight.
Man, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Right there is a perfect example. Bubba goes on, off the tabletop while Carmichael jumps over the tube. Stewart gets the wheels to the ground and just takes off to an instant, almost, 2-second lead?
He is serving notice, ladies and gentlemen, right now. James Stewart leads Ricky Carmichael. I know Ricky in his head, when he saw that, had to be going, how in the heck did that just happen?
Man, I can't believe right now James Stewart just taking off, doing exactly what Ricky Carmichael does in the competition each week. And now Bubba's laying it down to Ricky Carmichael in this heat race number 2.
Well, I mean, he had a tremendous advantage on the start. Now let's see if Ricky can start picking him up. Give him a lap or 2 to settle down. David Villeman back in 3rd. There's the 259, the Fox Racing, Oakley Kawasaki, James Stewart. And there's the Suzuki, number 4, the champ, Ricky Carmichael. Going for another one there this year, Debo. And he's also trying to win this heat race. He wants that first pick on the gate, but first he's got to get by James.
And Ricky continues to jump over the tabletops while all the other guys are jumping on, jumping off. That is at least a 2nd lap faster. And Carmichael was a 2nd slower than Stewart in practice. I'm really surprised at Carmichael's choice of lines.
Final transfer, Mike LaRocco in 4th, Heath Voss in 5th. There's Voss. We're taking a look at his onboard camera. Now the factory Yamaha Voss. He's been a privateer all these years. He wins the THQ World Supercross GP Championship, and Yamaha give him a ride for 05.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage. We talk about the privateers and you're having a race against factory equipment. We're seeing that Heath Voss has jumped on that factory equipment and has had a very consistent, strong season until that injury in the middle of the season. But right now, he's back and looking really strong. He looked good in preliminary qualifiers. He looked good in practice.
Mike Preston Mike Preston. He's Kawasaki Road Race team manager.
Travis Preston.
Travis Preston, who has done well here in the 125 class. Preston won back in 2002, but it's the 250s now. But he's a big boy. He can handle the big bike, but they still have to get that top 4.
And he's actually on the 450 Honda, the factory bike. Travis Preston, like you said, a big, lanky, strong kid. I think he suits that 450 well as he now sets his sights on Voss and LaRocco.
Voss looks good. I'm impressed the way he's riding. The number 13 Yamaha now out of Mico, Texas, and he's on the inside. LaRocco, a little bit of a bobble there.
And look at Heath Voss. He's been out with injury for a number of weeks. This is his first race back. It's his new hometown race. He's moved to Texas, and he's looking strong. He's hunting on the rock right now, and it's not often you're hunting the rock.
Mike LaRocco won here back in 1994, trying to do it in 2005. But right now, James Stewart is leading Ricky Carmichael by 4 seconds. When we come back, we'll see how this thing turns out. Stewart, Carmichael, Villeman, and LaRocco, your top 4 in Dallas. Ricky Carmichael has gone down. He was in second, about 5 seconds behind James Stewart. Didn't look like he was pressing things, and to Irving, Texas for the THQ World Supercross GP and the THQ AMA Supercross Series. Boy, disappointment for Carmichael. Now he's going to have to try and battle for a transfer.
Yeah, unbelievable circumstance right now. Ricky was alone second, like you said. He's going through the staircase section right after the whoops. Number 90, Brian Mason is down. The flagger obviously didn't get out in time, or Ricky didn't see the flagger, and Ricky jumps on his motorcycle and flies off the track. He's now way back in sixth spot, like I said, out of transfer.
James Stewart, David Billiman, Michael Rocco, Heath Boss, who we saw just before the break going for that final transfer spot. He is in there as it stands now. Preston is followed by Carmichael, but man, Ricky, as the time, runs down, this is an 8-lap race. He doesn't have enough time. I mean, Stewart's gone. He's 12 seconds. Carmichael needs to close in on Preston, and then he's still got to pick off Heath Boss if he's going to make it to the main event by way of his heat race.
He's racing right now with the purpose of getting that main event, and James Stewart, you see him kind of making a mistake, a bobble in the wood section. That's what cost him to win in Orlando. Right now, though, I think he's learned a lot from Orlando, and right now he's looking really smooth and fluid, and just other than that little bobble we just saw, he has taken off, like I said, what now, an 11.5-second lead over David Billiman.
52.096 is Stewart's fastest lap time. I mean, these are crazy numbers we're seeing out of Stewart. Earlier in the practice session, we were seeing Reed 53.4, Stewart 52.2. He's the only rider in the 52s right now.
Yeah, he is already 2 full straightaways ahead of David Billiman. The Cobra, number 12 there on the blue Yamaha in second. Stewart right now is in a class of his own, at least in his heat race, especially with Carmichael coming out. There goes Rocco, number 5 in the red Honda.
There's the final transfer.
Right there, number 70, Travis Preston. And here comes Carmichael. Like you said, Robbie, he's got to make 2 passes on 2 very strong riders.
The number 13 is the rider to look for because he's in the final. The number 4 is not. Bosch, number 13 out of Mico, Texas, is trying to hold off Preston, who's trying to hold off Carmichael, but none of these guys can probably even see James Stewart unless they look halfway across the track.
I think what did help Stewart a little bit today, he had to ride a preliminary qualifier. He's 21st in points. He had to ride that extra race today, and all it did, I think, was make him a little stronger, a little smoother. Oh, man, we see
Ricky
Carmichael
goes
down again.
What? This is what Chad Reed has been waiting for. I mean, the mental mistakes, the physical mistakes, whatever. He's making mistakes, and Reed has to be having a little, catch me out. He's got the what's that, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That's what I'm trying to say.
Man, it's tough. I am really surprised. Ricky Carmichael, he's the champion of all champions right now, one of the most dominant motocrossers of all time, supercrossers as well, making these mistakes. We just have not seen it from him in the past, and he hates to lose. Right now, he has got to be just steaming mad.
And he's hung it up, too. He knows he's not going to be in that final here. Now don't do anything crazy, don't do anything dumb, and knock yourself down. Checker Black's about to come out for the 2.59. James Stewart over 15 seconds ahead of David Billiman. James Stewart takes the heat race win. Let's take a look at what happened to Carmichael this last time.
He's coming in this corner. This is right before the whoop section. This is the beginning of the straightaway where he crashed at the end of the straightaway last time. He whips, he goes down in this turn, he goes up high. You see that shiny spot? He loses the front end. You see him kind of looking ahead of the whoops. The front end just tucked, and down he goes, man. That is the second week in a row he's lost the front end.
Dark spot is loose, tacky. That bright, shiny section will probably be black at the end of the night. That is the hard pack starting to turn into glass, and Ricky Carmichael not going to make the main event via the heat race, something that hasn't happened so far this year.
This is the first time he's not had it transferred out of the heat race. Going to the semifinal, I guarantee he's going to be doing some work on that bike back in the pits.
There are some disappointed Ricky Carmichael fans. Unofficially finishes in 7th spot. Let's take a look at the official results now. Yep, Carmichael in 7th is Stewart, Billiman, LaRocco, and Voss. So we'll move on to the final. Let's go down to Davey.
Well, Bubba, first of all, where in the world did that hole shot come from? Man, you got out of there.
Yeah, we did a lot of work on the starts this weekend, and I feel great on it. I feel really comfortable. It's just now trying to get used to starting. I haven't started in a long time, but felt good out there. I kind of struggled with the whoops, but I feel good, and I'm ready to do 20 now.
Looking ahead, you were just barely a second faster than Reed, according to the mechanics down here. What do you think going into the main event? Is this your night? Is this the night you break through?
I definitely hope so. I kept screwing up through the whoops, so if I'm only a second faster, that's pretty good because I wasn't riding my best out there, but it's good time. It's time to get it going on. Let's get this Kawasaki up on the podium.